Hi all, welcome back to another episode of How to Design My Garden, Where Do I Start? In this episode we're going to be looking at a house under renovation, and this is going to be quite similar to a brand new house that's built from scratch, but there are slight differences and we will cover those shortly. Firstly, a big shout out to my neighbours who have kindly lent me their house as the house model for this video. This house is going under a renovation, as you can see by some of the building works that are going on around me. As I mentioned, it is my neighbour's property, so it is a stone's throw away from New Cottage. It was previously an agricultural farmhouse. I'm going to guess it was sort of from the 1960s, 1970s, that kind of era. It was that sort of style. It's been completely gutted. It's had a full facelift and an extension put on the rear, and obviously the building works are still going on. But something you might have picked up on already is this red brick here in the walling down here at the front. So that obviously was the original brickwork of the previous property. Now, I haven't spoke to my neighbours about this yet. I don't know if they're going to dash that and keep tied in with the new dash of the new home, or if they're going to keep it as it is. But this is the exciting thing about a restoration, is you are going to have kind of like these period features, or these leftover bits from the previous home as you're doing the renovation. So sometimes it's nice to keep those bits in. It sort of gives you a nod as to, oh, this is the new house and this is what we've done, but this is what was here previously and this is what we've kept. Now, it's up to them. As I said, they might dash it and they might blend it all together, and they might not want to sort of give that nod. But I kind of like the way that the wall coping here, it's aged really well. It's starting to flake really well. It's peeling. I love all that. I love how it shows the age, and I kind of love how the age is also kind of coming through in the brick. So you have this really cool contrast of new and old, and sometimes that's really cool to play with. Sort of depends on what you're doing, but that could be something really cool to play with. But what strikes me straight away about this wall, and other than its age, is we have this juxtaposition in level. So we have the concrete lane I'm standing on. It comes into tarmac here, or kind of what would have been tarmac, and we're sort of moving up slightly higher. So it goes slightly higher, and then up here is lawn. Now it's quite overgrown lawn because obviously my neighbours haven't been here for a while. And there's loads of building work going on, and there's kind of no need to keep it tidy at this point. But this is where my design brain kicks in at. So, as I mentioned, we went from this lower level up to this higher level, and when I go back down to here, I'm not the tallest person ever, but this wall's kind of coming to my waist height. So straight away I'm thinking, what could we do here with this space? I'm filming this it's approximately 7 p.m. and the sun's hitting me here in the face at the minute, so it's not the best time to be filming. I'm probably squinting at the camera, but this whole space is getting full day sun, because I know the sun comes around here and it's going right round and it's starting to set now. So this whole area is getting full day sun. So this here in its own right, is a nice sitting area. You could sit out here in the summer. Now, they might want to turn this space back into lawn. If it was me, I would love to get some herbaceous planting in here. That's just my sort of cottage design brain coming out. But I would love lots of Nepeta, Six Hills Giant, and Acamela Mollus. Other sort of low-growing perennials. You could have stackies, the lamb's ear in there. Or do you know what would be really cool as well? Especially if they do keep the orange brickwork. Would be lots and lots of geranium roseanne. So you'd have these bright blue flowers kind of moving its way across the pillar top, and maybe if it grows far enough, depending on the season, it could just kind of spill over the sides. That would be really cool. It would really soften that whole edge. It would be a really good sort of use of the space. But let's move the camera position. We'll go further up and we'll see what else they have to work with. Okay, so slightly further up then, this is kind of, the camera was down in this lower angle. So this obviously originally probably would have been the pillar. The pillar has been knocked down just for building works. And as you can see, it's all grass. It's all quite long grass here. Now, I love planting, like I'm not going to lie. And if it was up to me, because this site is quite flat, I would probably have this all in planting. So as I mentioned there, on the lower half of the wall, I'd probably have herbaceous stuff kind of like spilling over the edge, and I'd probably mirror that across here again. So the clients will probably put in a curb line over time, so that curb line will probably come in here. There's kind of really no need to kind of fight what's already existing. That curb line would run up then to the garage, and you would replicate the same low planting on both sides. You would have it on the lane side, so it would kind of spill over the edges, and you'd have it here just kind of at the driveway. So it would leave you all this space then in the middle. So what would you do with that kind of void there in the middle? The client has really good views of the Sperrin Mountains, so it probably would be a sin to plant quite tall trees in there. So something like maybe a couple of Cortinus would be quite nice, the smoke bush, that would look really good in there. That would just give you a nice pop of purple. It's a nice medium-sized shrub without like taking over the whole space. It's not going to dominate or steal any of the views. So as you're sitting in the house and you're looking out, you're still, you're still getting nice views there of the scenery. We could put trees further up then, I suppose, if we wanted, in areas where there's no windows, on the property, on this gable end that is looking into anything. So, that would be a good place to plant trees, kind of over in this area. So they went with a really neutral render. It's just, grey dash render like most Irish houses. There's a wee bit of granite aggregate through it, so that wee bit of sparkle. It's really neutral. So something like Betula Jackmontii would be nice. Just that really nice sort of clean white stems. But sort of going back to this space then, you could have all your low-growing perennials kind of on both sides. As I mentioned there could be Cortinus in the middle. You could also have maybe like Hydrangea Paniculata Limelight. That would give you those nice conical flowers. But that would also give you, really good structural interest in winter. So as those flowers die off, and they sort of go to that gold sort of state of kind of, dormancy for winter, it still looks quite nice. It still sort of ties into this whole scenery. It blend in really well nicely with the landscape. It's just, something that you sort of have to think about. You have to consider all the seasons. And then occasionally you could put in nice kind of topiary balls. Obviously, you have your Taxus baccata sphere balls. You could put in like box balls, Ilex crenata. Those are all just kind of different groups of like topiary you could put in. That would just kind of really break up the space. It sort of breaks up the perennials. Again, gives you good evergreen structure in the winter without having to put in a really big evergreen tree. We're not wanting to sort of block these views. We can put evergreens in other places. It's always just a good point that you can still have low evergreens that you can sort of see over, because I suppose if we're standing here, we're wanting to see over. So the client comes out the front door here at this point, but right beside the front door is a set of double doors, which is like a dining room, and it comes straight out. And again, we have those beautiful views there of the Sperrin Mountains. And again, this was originally a tarmac from the previous homeowner that lived here. And I would imagine, they'll kind of go this up over time. You have a set of French doors there, and you're probably wanting to bring that all out flush with the interior tiles. So you have this indoor-outdoor living. So, you could have maybe like a porcelain tile there, and that'll blend in with the internal tile. I don't know, because there's no floors yet in the property. That's only me surmising. They might have a wooden floor. They might want to match their internal external and have one of those seamless run through spaces. So that would bring you straight out. You'd probably stop the patio here. This would be a really good sizable space. You could put quite a large table here. You could probably set up to 8 people or more. That'd be very sizable. And again, this whole rectangle, I would devote all to soft planting. I'd be really reluctant to plant a hedge here or plant any large trees. I'd want to maximize those views is everything that you're wanting to look at in one go. So, really stunning space. But let's go to a different side of the house till we see what's there. Okay, so here is a completely different juxtaposition. I am now at the back of the house. So as I mentioned, it's my neighbour's house. I grew up in this location a long time, and I know that this little area here is only going to get morning sunlight. It's going to get a wee bit of midday sunlight, but the sun is going to move around quite quickly and go around to the front of the house where we were at when we started this video. So I also mentioned what would be the difference in probably a renovation project versus a brand new house from scratch. If you are doing a renovation project, you might find from the previous homeowners there might be other plants in the garden that you can steal or borrow that you've never had to pay for, and straight away you've maybe got some plants for free. So in the background here we have a really large box Semperverum, believe it or not. It is absolutely humongous. It must have been in for absolutely years. It's huge, and it's just sitting there unclipped and really loose. Now, we're quite familiar with box and garden centres. It always comes as a perfect sphere or a pyramid, but you can see this is a really large unkept one that's just kind of got a wee bit unruly. But again, that could be shaped into something. That could be shaped into like a big cloud or a big pillow. It'd be an absolute sin to waste that or lose that. You would pay a lot of money for that in a garden centre if you wanted to get one that size. And then behind it there, we have a golden thua, and then way behind that, in the further distance, then we have golden privet. Like I said, the previous homeowners, they did have like a 1960s, 1970s style house, and you know, variegated privet would have been a big thing of its time. Probably so would have been the sort of golden thea there. Personally, they wouldn't be my preference of colour, but if it's free, you could always try and work with it. As I mentioned, I can already feel it's a bit more chilly around here because it's the evening time, there's a cool draft coming in here, and this area would only get morning sunlight. So the planting dynamic here would change quite a bit. This would be a space I would start to incorporate evergreens, I would start to incorporate shade-loving plants, I would start to incorporate probably less colourful plants. There's no doors at any angle here now on this side of the property, so I don't know if my neighbours are going to plan to maybe put a seating area here or not. It's not really accessible from the main house, so it's probably quite, not a wasted space, but it's probably a space that they're not naturally going to gravitate to when they have so many natural means of access at the other side of the property to go to. Also, what's really unusual, and this isn't going to come up in every property, but like I said, this is a renovation project and it was an agricultural farmhouse, we have a cattle shed. The builders have very nicely dashed it, the same dash that's on the main property. So for example, straight away in my mind, I'm thinking you could plant ivy up this. You could maybe do, you know, a really nice lush green ivy. You know, you might not want to cover it over, but climbing hydrangea would also be nice on this wall. You'd get lovely autumnal yellow leaves in the autumn. You'd get nice white flowers in the summer. I'd say in the winter, it would all sort of die back and then you'd still see that wall creep through. So that, you know, might be another good suggestion as to what you could do with this space. Now, I had mentioned on the other side of the house, I would do the whole thing in soft landscaping, and then you're probably thinking, that doesn't leave much room for lawn. Where would you put a lawn? Well, potentially here would actually be a good space for lawn. What you could do is just run a path, maybe 1.2 metres around the perimeter of the property, and maybe just right around and just frame it as a big sort of picture frame and have like a big rectangular lawn here. My neighbours might not want to put lawn here at all. You know, they might asphalt this area, they might pave it. Again, this would be a really good hidey hole for the car. You know, just bring the car around the side of the house, get rid of it. Because sometimes cars are not the most exciting thing to look out your window at. And this could also be a really good maybe space for the kids to play in. Kids' toys can take up a lot of space, things like trampolines and things, and you know, this might be a really good position. Just, you know, tuck it in out of the way, keep your main area at the front for entertaining. You know, for example, I know most people would entertain at the back of the property, but as long as I've been filming at this side of the house, this draft is hitting me full on, and I'm standing here absolutely shivering. So yeah, you know, weigh all your options up. When you move into a brand new space, assess everything. Look at where your sunlight is setting, look where your sunlight is rising, look where your doors in the property are, where is the most practical space to put patios, where, you know, visually do you want, you know, your friends and family to come in, and what plants do you want them to see first? Potentially the front of this house has so much scope to do so much exciting stuff. Around this area, I would just keep it quite low key, quite minimum, loads of sort of shade style planting, which can also be quite cool, but I generally don't think this will be an area you would spend as much time in when there's so much scope at the front to do so much cool stuff with. But yes, hopefully that gives you a better understanding of what you could do with a renovation project. Please watch the rest of my series where you can see homes in urban areas and a brand new house that has been started from scratch. Until next time, thank you for watching.